Other boot verbs. Spelling changers. Remember la botte? Well, now we're going to use this boot to tell us which form of our verb is going to get an accent change. So I call these either spelling changers or accent changers. The first set is going to be the set where we add an accent grave. So if you look at your infinitive, for example, acheter, there's no accent on this E here in acheter, which means to buy. We're going to add the accent when we conjugate the verb. Same thing with amener. Amener means to bring a person. Like if you're taking a friend to a picnic, this is your verb. This is the E that's going to get the change on right here. Just for contrast, apporter means to bring a thing. So if we say they are bringing a salad to the party, we want to say, elles apportent une salade à la fête. There's no accent change here. This is just a regular ER verb. I'd like you to know this one just so that you know both to bring a person and to bring a thing. All right, let's take a look at the conjugations now. Okay, acheter, répétez, acheter, acheter, and that means to buy. And this is the one where we're going to add the accent grave. So watch this. J'achète, my accent's right here. Tu achètes. Il, elle, or on achète. Nous achetons. No accent here because this is going to be in our outside of our boot. Vous achetez. No accent there. And then in the il plural, we go back to having the flipped accent. So the accent grave. Ils achètent. Elles achètent. Once again, if it's in the boot, it gets the accent. If it's not in the boot, it doesn't pick up an accent. Amener. J'amène, tu amènes, il, elle, or on amène. Nous amenons, no accent. Vous amenez, no accent. Il or elles amènent, with an accent. Once again, that boot goes right around the forms that get the accent picked up in there. This next set, you're going to flip the accent aigu to an accent grave. Okay, so the infinitive will have an accent aigu in it, and then when you conjugate it, the accent aigu will flip to the accent grave. So in a verb like espérer, you see this has the accent aigu here. When you conjugate it, it will flip. Espérer means to hope. Préférer means to prefer. And what's kind of crazy about this one is that it has two accents, but it's only this second one that's going to get the change. The first one stays the same because it's in a completely different syllable. Same thing with célébrer, to celebrate. It's only the second E that's going to get the flip. So let's look at the conjugations. Espérer. J'espère. Tu espères. Il, elle, on espère. All of those get the flipped accents. Now for the nous and vous form here, I'm not going to take the accent off. I'm going to just flip it back the way it was up here in the infinitive. So if there's an accent in the infinitive, you want one in your nous and vous form. So nous espérons, vous espérez, and then we go back to flipping it here on the il plural. So il or elles espèrent. Okay, and I changed the color of the boot here just to draw your attention to the fact that this one is an accent flipper, not an accent adder. Préférer, again, it's only that second accent that's going to flip. The first one is going to stay the same. So we'll get je préfère, this should not have that apostrophe there, je préfère, tu préfères, see how this one stays the same and this is the one that changes. Il, elle, or on préfère. In the new form, we go back to leaving the accent the way it was. So both of them now will be accent aigu. Nous préférons, vous préférez, il or elle préfère. And here, once again, we'll have the flip. And there's our boot. Célébrer means to celebrate, and here we have the exact same situation that we had with préférer. We have this one that does not change, and we have this one that will flip. So, je célèbre, tu célèbres, il, elle, or on célèbre, nous célébrons, vous célébrez, il or elle célèbre. And there's our green boot once again. Your boot verb rule hasn't changed. If it's in the boot, it changes. If it's not in the boot, it doesn't change. Remember, the spelling change only occurs in the je, tu, il, and il plural forms. Nous and vous are outside the boot, so they do not change. Acheter and amener, the two that start with A, pick up an accent grave in the boot. Espérer, préférer, and célébrer have an accent aigu that changes to an accent grave in the boot.